Today here on the wonderful YouTube, and we're going to be talking about our verse, the one verse, one voice for the next 7 weeks. I know it sounds amazing every time I say that. I attempted to, no, I did. I didn't attempt. I made myself a few notes because I am very excited about this verse. Now, just in case, just in case you're still finding this channel, which there's only 76 of you that have as far as subscribers. So chances are that you might be new. Um, and that's great. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You have found the channel. Oh, I'm sure there's more, but the only channel that has the Hope Slinger on it, that I just offer encouragement. If I had to sum it up in one word, everybody is welcome in this discussion. You know the rules, be respectful. That's it. Other than that, we are diving into one verse in the Bible, just one. That's it. I am done with my clients for the day, still in the work uniform, but that's okay. I wanted to hop on and get this done because we've got some exciting things going on tonight. And I knew that my time was going to be a little bit precious. I wanted to get this done now because tonight there's a huge fundraiser at a local restaurant, and they are donating 10% of their sales to my ministry, to the nonprofit that my husband and I started a year and a half ago. So I want to be sure and have ample time for that. So without further ado, let's start to talk about Galatians 6:9. I don't want to assume anything because you know how you get used to like a little bitty small pond, I should say. Hi. And you're like, you're used to all the things in it, okay? Like your surroundings, um, pretty small, pretty small. I was just getting used to this whole technology and learning things and new things, and was doing lives, still do lives on Facebook every week. But then it was like this unction to go on and to see if there's something to this whole YouTube thing. So that's what I'm doing. And because it's a new thing, sometimes there can be nervousness, or there can be like anytime we stretch ourselves, we try to find something new to do, right? That's outside of our comfort zone, or that we're having to learn. uh it can be unsettling, but it should be an invitation. It can be an invitation to actually grow and to use our minds and to think about things. Um, and that's what these next 7 weeks are all about. We're just taking one verse. We don't need to solve all the problems. We don't need to go deep into anything just for the sake of going deep. Like, we can just see from one verse in the Bible, is there anything that applies to me today? Is there anything that can be a help today? I'm going to say, spoiler alert, yes, there is. So the first week, all we dealt with was just an overview of the verse. And let me just read it again. I'm reading from the New King James Version, but I say get whichever version that you feel led to get. And it says, "And let us not grow weary while doing good. For in due season we shall reap if we do not lose heart." That is said so many different ways in so many different translations. But that was actually read from my father's Bible, like my dad, my natural dad. And it was his birthday this weekend, and it tired me out. Like it was weary for me. And so we talked about how the first part of this verse already was like, okay, so don't let us grow weary, or don't grow weary, or don't allow yourself to become weary. Like there were all of these ways to say, don't get tired. Okay. So that's where we're going to jump off today, is looking at what does it even mean, weary, that word. And if any of you, hopefully you'll get to know me, you'll hang around, you'll know that words are fascinating to me. And so I think it just makes some sense. All I did for today, I thought, let's talk about the word weary. Let's talk about the word tired. I don't know if anyone else gets tired or weary, but I know that in my business, I get very tired and weary just because of uh, dealing with public, and dealing with healing, and dealing with just giving so much of yourself. And maybe some of you are in professions like that, or maybe you find that you are giving a lot to others. But you don't have to have that to get weary. I mean, sometimes you just get tired, right? So I thought let's at least get a baseline for what we're talking about when it says don't become weary. It would make sense. It would behoove us to find out, what exactly are we not supposed to be again? Weary. Okay. So I just did super shallow, like just dusting the surface. Literally looked it up from the Merriam-Webster. And weary, this is what I came away with. So if you are taking notes, for my note takers, these three definitions are what I found for weary. It is an adjective. That's just a bonus. I'm not going to make you diagram any sentences, don't worry. But it is good to know that it is used to describe something, typically us, right? If we get tired, or in this case, we're being encouraged not to grow tired. Okay, but it describes something. Okay, so here we go. First definition: weary, physically or mentally tired. I mean, enough said. I think y'all are with me on that. That is a good definition. Okay, but then the second one says expressive of or prompted by tiredness. Like she wore a weary smile. So because she was tired, she had a tired smile. Okay, so there's that kind of thing. Um, that can also be that adjective describing. Okay, but then this third one, I think we might have to camp on this probably tomorrow as well, because I want to know how this strikes you guys. And the third definition of weary from Merriam Webster says, having one's interest, forbearance, or indulgence worn out. I don't know why that one was like, wow, now we're getting to the nitty and the gritty, because maybe you can deal with physically or mentally tired. Like maybe that's kind of a black and white issue for you. Okay. Maybe that's kind of like that one's not hard to figure out. Lack of sleep, going through a stressful situation, physically, mentally. Okay. And then that plays in our features. We know that. But then this one, having, just take one word at a time. Having one's interest worn out. Maybe that is more of what you are feeling these days. Just like it's really getting hard to care, right? You're like tired of trying to keep up with everything. That might be your brand of weary. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe your brand of weary is more of that your forbearance has worn out. And if I have anybody out there still paying off student loans, you'll notice maybe that word forbearance. Because if you ever get in a jam and forbearance is something that you can postpone, it doesn't eliminate the tiredness, but you can postpone it. Like your ability to even keep the tiredness at bay for a little while, worn out. That could be another option of you getting worn out. And then the third one in there is having your indulgence worn out. So that means like how that struck me was when you're giving a person, dare I say, grace, and you're the one that's trying to give it instead of letting it flow through you. And so therefore, it's wearing you out. Now there is so much in that. And I've already been speaking to you for 11 minutes. So I don't want you to get overrun today. I don't want to keep you long today. But I do want to ask you maybe some questions to ponder tonight. And we can kind of go over them, or I would be very curious what you say. You can comment today if you want. So, of these definitions, is there one that you relate to more? Okay. And there were only the three: physically or mentally tired, expressive of or prompted by tiredness, or having one's interest, forbearance, or indulgence worn out. Any of those definitions of weary, do they hit you today? Do they kind of resonate with you? Are you like, yeah, it's exactly how I am today? That's how I'm feeling. And maybe it's not even today. I mean, let's be real. Maybe you're in that kind of a season. That could be. That could be. But is there one that resonates with you the most where you're at right now? Then I want to throw out a question to you in closing. I want to ask you, do you think that it is possible to have anything be so foundational and that could supersede any circumstances that we're facing, that could just stay true and even throughout any season of your life? In other words, are you resigned to the fact that you're always going to be tired? Like, do you feel like you're just going to be weary the rest of your life and there's nothing you can do about it? Is there anything that you can think of that holds firm, that doesn't move, even when everything around you is moving? Well, as I mentioned earlier, it was my dad's birthday this weekend, and he has transitioned onto heaven, and I miss him. I miss him greatly. And my heart has been heavy. And yet it occurred to me that even though that heaviness was a tiredness, I went and I rejoiced with my Savior this weekend. I went and sang praises to his name, and I know that the bottom line is that it's only going to be a short time in the grand scheme of things until I can see him again. Now, eh, don't lose hope in the channel. Don't switch me off just because you might not believe what I believe. Um, I'm saying, wouldn't it be interesting? Hey, Aunt Lil, hello. Wouldn't it be interesting if there was something that was that constant? If there was something that could give a measure of hope even through the hard times. And I submit to you respectfully that if we're going to look at this one verse, and it is saying, let us not grow weary. Now, of course, there's after that, there's the rest of the sentence. But if it's going to say that we don't have to be worn out, we don't have to be and stay tired, I wonder what that would look like. I wonder what that would look like. Part of what we're going to be discussing. And I will, now I know I've said that I would close already. That was the question to think about, but I really would hope, and this is just me talking to you, this is just me being real, whoever sees this, I would hope that you would consider seriously joining me for the next few weeks, not because of the numbers, not because I have a goal to get X amount of followers, not because you even think that you need it, but what if there was just something that you were brought here to do at this time, at this moment, and some things that you might hear in the next few weeks could be of help to you to accomplish that? What if what you know is what you know up to this point, but that there's more? Well, I'm a believer that there's more. I'm a believer, and I know that there's more. So I hope you will think about those questions about weariness and what it means to you. And I will plan on being back here tomorrow with you. I don't know what time. I don't know much else. I just know that I'm committed to seeing you guys every day except for the weekends. I mean, let's be real. Okay. Let's not get crazy. Um, unless he directs me to come on the weekends too, then I will just hop on here and do that. Okay. Um, that's what I have for you today. Think about weary and what it means to you. And is it possible that you could have a superpower, a secret weapon to combat that weariness? We'll discuss. As always, I love you even though I haven't met you yet. Nothing you can do about it. Okay. Be blessed to be a blessing. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.